ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope that you guys have had a good start to your weekend and that your weekend has started well. I was going to say that you had a good week as well, that your week was good as well. So let's just hope everything was great this week and this weekend. So anyway, on the Gremlin Report tonight, we seem to be live, we seem to be on screen. Hopefully you guys can hear me. As always, let me know in the comment section in that live chat room to see if you can hear me and see me. Is always a little bit dodgy and I'm looking at lots of different things at the same time in order to see whether it's all working or not. But I think it should be. And it was relatively okay. The big news that we had from the last live stream were these emoticons and things that were all being set off, and I've managed to turn those off, so that should be fine. There shouldn't be any surprises on tonight's live stream. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will see. But first of all, let's give you guys a shout out in that live chat room, because in there we have Bob and Pam, K36, Michelle, Gail, Howard, Corey, Ocean, Cats, SD, Tammy Joe, Karen, Diamond Girl, Purple Velvet, Jennifer, Beerley, Vince, Debbie, Vera, Christian, Rowan, and Christian says loud and clear. No problem. So yeah, thank you for letting me know. The other thing that with this new update on the Mac operating system is pretty much just me trying to cancel everything that they've brought in that's supposed to make things easier. So now when I click on the desktop, everything doesn't disappear. It stays where it is. Now when I drag the windows up to the top or in the corner, it doesn't go full screen, which is good. And yeah, I think that was pretty much it, apart from those emoticon things and reactions, whatever they're called. So we managed to get rid of those as well. And I think pretty much, I'm hoping everything is going to work, but there was one thing that might pop up later in the live stream depending on what we're doing, because there was one thing that I can't remember that was still a bit of a gremlin, but we might find out if it suddenly kicks off in tonight's live stream. So anyway, let's get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So a massive shout out to you guys. You know who you are, and they make this all possible in the first place, and they are the foundation of everything that I do. So the reason that I can do these live streams and analysis videos and all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys for all of your support. You know who you are. And if you want to leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated, because tonight I think we are aiming for a new record of 610. I think that's the target for tonight's live stream. Seems a bit high, but we will see how we get on with that. So yeah, if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be great. It would set a new record for the channel. In its entire existence, we've never hit 610 likes as a likes goal before. So we will see where we end up with that. And if we do indeed hit that target of 610, then we will have Phil Jam number 190. It is tonight. So we'll bust out the guitar and we will see what happens. Let me get the likeometer up on screen, and there it is, 252 likes so far, which is a good start. Maybe we can get a bit of a spike of the likes going on. That would be great. So you might be able to hear it, you might not be able to hear it, but there's some heavy rain outside and it's a bit stormy and a bit windy. So if you hear that in the background, it's not a fancy effect I've got going to set the mood. It's just the weather at the moment here in the UK. And yeah, earlier in the week there were tiny bits of snow around the country, but not really where I am, unfortunately. There was a tiny bit, but it disappeared within a few minutes. So yeah, we will see what happens coming up to Christmas, but things been getting a little bit colder. One night was -2, so yeah, certainly winter closing in during the lead up to Christmas. So on tonight's live stream, we have the vote, of course, for tonight's cover video, which is between You Know My Name And I don't want to miss a thing. That was the other one. I can only ever see the one that's in the lead. And at the moment, You Know My Name has 50% of the vote. So it never shows you the points. So it's 50 point something is given to You Know My Name. I'm keeping an eye on it to see if it changes, because it's going to be very close. So whichever one of those songs you want to hear my version of later on, then yeah, click on that in the live chat room. So I mean, we're just going to do everything normally as we do on the live streams. So other than the cover video, we've got, I can see that there are some donations that have been made. So thank you guys for those. And let me bring that up on screen, that you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. So for those people that can't resist donating, I think it's important that they know between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link. You can find that in the description below. And between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window. So yeah, for those people that can't stop themselves from donating, I think it's that important information. But yeah, just watching is great. Introduce yourself into the live chat room, say hello. That's how we all get to know each other and get to see and get used to each other's usernames and all that kind of stuff. Of course, you know my username because I am me. And this is the other important thing that I have to bring up now and again, that I won't be offering anything in the comments section such as saying that you've won a prize and you need to get in contact with me and all that kind of stuff, because yeah, those are scam things that unfortunately happen quite regularly in the comments section of lots of different channels, but I'm no exception to that, unfortunately. Yeah, so if you see anything that is asking you to get in touch on Telegram or anybody pretending to be me, just rest assured that it's not, and you can just ignore all of that. And I do try to remove those comments as soon as I see them, so that yeah, we try and minimize the whole scam thing and people maybe getting I don't know, pulled into a scam, not knowing what it is. And generally from what I've received, the emails, I mean, thankfully nothing too recent, not since I made the video updating everybody about it in a video, but also just letting people know that it was going on in the comment section. I think the general thing is that people are told that they've won a guitar or they've won something, you know, an amp or something, and they just have to pay for postage. And the postage is like £200 or something ridiculous. So yeah, it's not me doing that. And anybody that's asking you for, I mean, that's a scam that's been going for ages, where they ask you, they say that you've won something, and they say all you need to do is is to pay the postage. And the postage, I mean, even if it's like £10, £20 or something like that, I think people actually do pay that. And if they can get enough people to do it, then obviously that's the scam, to get thousands of people paying £10 or £20. But yeah, certainly don't pay £200 or £10 or £20 or any pounds or dollars if it's looking like it might be me that's in contact with you. And by the way, as it brings me back to the point, as you know, my username is Wings of Pegasus, and it has a tick next to it. So that's how you know it is me. And there's no weird spellings of Wings of Pegasus. It's just exactly as it sounds. Right, so let's get that out of the way and we will move on. And I will address some of these donations because Orlando donated $2. So thank you for that, Orlando. And the message was 441k. Wow. Hit that like button, yo Paulie. So thank you for that, Orlando. And Orlando didn't necessarily say it how I just said it. I was taking artistic license there with Orlando's statement. But thank you for that, Orlando. And Paul has donated $2 as well. So thank you for that, Paul. And Paul says 441,000 subscribers. Most excellent. Rock. So thank you for that, Paul and Orlando. So let me bring this up on screen because we have, as Orlando and Paul have just mentioned, hit 441,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing and hitting with a thumbs up, getting involved with the channel. And yeah, if you do want to get notified for all of the videos, you will have to click on the notification bell, as well as being subscribed, of course. But yeah, thank you for all of the support and for watching the videos. The last video I did, which was last night, I mean, it was a video that I'm surprised that people have to ask the question, but I think maybe it might be a question from a younger generation who don't necessarily appreciate that dancing and singing is something that is actually possible, but it means that you have to train in order to do it. So I know that maybe people who have seen the singers and artists that I have throughout my life, such as Tina Turner, who was an example there, and Pink that we were analysing in the last video last night, where she's basically doing gymnastics and singing at the same time. That yes, it can be done, but I guess because there are some people who are, I mean, I wouldn't even say doing something that's that intense, especially when you're looking at Pink doing forward rolls and flips and ridiculous kind of sit-up things and hanging off the ceiling. All of that, and basically running from one point to the next, all of that is very intensive, and she sings at the same time. But then I think maybe the people that are a little bit younger are now watching artists who, because they're doing dancing, and I wouldn't even say it was that intense, but maybe they're just strutting around on the stage, they think, oh, because that's happening, they can't possibly be singing live. Or it's something that you have to accept, that somebody who's walking around and doing that will not be singing live because it's not possible to do. But it's always the case that it's always down to training. It's down to hard work and just putting in the hours. If you do want to be able to do two things that are physically demanding at once, it's just training. And I think that just goes for life. But maybe people think, oh, it's not possible, so there's no point in trying. Whereas the reality is, the more you try, the better you get at it, and then it is possible. And that's certainly something that is brought up regularly with singing, for example, when people say, oh, I can't sing, I've just not got that ability. I wasn't born with that ability. But it's often the case that people who can sing are singing because they've been doing it a long time, or they've practiced a long time. I think it's the same as any skill, that you can learn to do it. But I think a lot of people might spend, I don't know, maybe a few weeks or a few months trying to do it, and then they think, oh, I can't do it, so I'll give up. But yeah, you got it. It's like training to sing and dance and do lots of things at the same time. It takes a long time. It can take years to get really good at anything. So yeah, it's just sticking at it. That's the most difficult part. And at some point, I think it depends how you learn as well. I always think that throughout my life, what has happened with I don't know whether it's my brain just being different, or maybe everyone learns in a different way, but for my whole life, no matter what the skill is that I'm trying to learn, it takes ages, and I go through ages not getting any better, or not noticeably better at all. And then all of a sudden, something will click and I'll suddenly make a huge improvement. And I don't know why that is. And it's something that's happened with me in sports and in music, that I'll just be doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again for months and months and months and months. And I don't feel like I'm actually getting any better. And then literally 24 hours later, I'll wake up and I'll try and do the thing. And then my brain has learned how to do it without actually doing it. In terms of all of that information of practicing has now clicked, and then your brain says, oh, I've got it now. Here you go. I'll allow you to do that, whatever you're trying to learn to do. So yeah, but I know that some people have gradual improvement. And I know this because I've taught guitar for almost 20 years, that you have different students that learn things at different speeds, and some just keep on improving all the time, and then you get some people who it takes quite a long time, but then they start absorbing all of the information. And I mean, psychologically speaking, I think what goes on is, and this is a huge part, why Diamond Girl says, are you wearing your, I don't know what that said. It's something shirt. It's AC/DC is the shirt for tonight, but it's a bit rubbed off. It's now CDC. because it's quite old. So, yeah, going back to the psychology of learning, and this is something that I do find interesting, because I know how my brain works, that if I try to do something and I feel like, oh, I can't do this, I'm no good at it, I know from previous experience, if I just do it for a few months, more than likely, I'm going to hit a point at which I suddenly can do the thing that I've been wanting to do for months. But, yeah, by watching other people learn, I think a huge problem people have is overlearning. So, especially with guitar and people that are practicing, they want to get really good really quickly. But they make the mistake of over practicing. So what happens is you reach like the edge of a cliff, is what I used to tell my students, where you're learning a new skill. And you learn and you learn and you learn and you learn. And in guitar, if you have learned to play the guitar and you might be trying to play a particular run or to go through a particular exercise, what you'll find is, more often than not, and I've seen this happen live in lessons, where I'm showing them how to do this, particular run, or, might be doing hammer-ons and pull-offs, and they're doing them and it's great. And they'll be doing it for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. And then after that time, they start making a few mistakes. And they start getting a little bit annoyed because they thought, oh, I was doing this a minute ago. So then they try and do it even more and make even more mistakes. And then, for the next kind of 10 minutes or whatever, they will keep making the same mistakes. So then I have to explain to them that this is something to bear in mind when you're practicing at home, is that you will fall off the cliff of learning. So your brain is really good at taking in that 5 minutes worth of information. As soon as you hit, and obviously that time varies from one person to the next, but I'd say 5 minutes is quite a good spell, and 5 minutes is actually quite long if you time it. So you're doing the same kind of run or particular technique for 5 minutes. Stop, because you'll feel like, oh yeah, I'm getting this, I can do it. Stop and move on to another technique and do that for 5 minutes. Stop, move on to another technique, do that for 5 minutes, and just break it up like that. Because if you do this, because some people will do the same thing for just maybe an hour, and by the end of the hour they'll just feel defeated because it felt like they were doing it really well at the beginning, and now they just can't get their fingers to work at all. So yeah, that's my bit of advice from doing it for a very long time and teaching for a very long time, is always break it up, because what will happen is you will learn when you're not doing the activity, because you're teaching your brain to kind of rewire itself in order to be able to do this particular skill that you're learning. So when you get to a particular point where you feel like, oh, I'm starting to go a little bit backwards, stop, have a bit of time off, go away, have a cup of tea, watch TV or do something, because your brain kind of has to break down the information. And I think this is why my brain learns the way that it does, is that it's been taking in so much information that at some point it organizes all of that and it makes all of the right connections in the brain, and then you find that, oh, I've suddenly made a leap forward in this particular skill, because your brain has managed to now rewire itself to allow you to do it to a higher level. And then you just go through that same process again. And anyway, I know that if you're just purely learning to try and play fast on the guitar, for example, then that is something that you can do for a very long time. And when you start falling off that cliff of learning a particular run, then you move on to another one. It's not something that I've been particularly interested in doing, because doing the same thing for an hour, and then moving on to another thing, doing the same thing for an hour, moving on to the next thing, doing the same thing for an hour, and it's literally playing the same notes in the same order and gradually speeding it up with a metronome. Not really something that I'm into, because I don't, from my own music, my own style of playing, I don't get any return from that, artistically, because I think, well, I'd rather spend time on singing, for example, keeping my voice, being able to hit notes. I'd like to kind of keep that ability, and I don't mind about playing really fast or sweep picking arpeggios, because that's not how I play anyway. I think that I prefer to kind of sing through the guitar, and I never sing an arpeggio in my head. I never sing 10 or 15 notes a second in my head. But it is good to have the skills in order to be able to mix up a solo, and there might be particular genres where you can throw in a little bit of that sprinkled in, but just not kind of a minute's worth of, or even more than that, of just constantly fast playing. But anyway, it's all an artistic choice and important thing just for learning. And I think actually it's it's for everything that you're trying to learn to do. Say that you're learning to sing. You might feel like you start to get the hang of something, a particular technique, or you're getting the right kind of place resonance wise that you're looking for. And once you can do that, then it's just a case of maybe having a little bit of time off, resting your voice as well, and then going back to it and trying to do that same thing and just reinforce that learning. But yeah, certainly I think a lot of people overlearn so that they don't realise that the time off is just as important as the time doing it, because you've got to make those new connections in your head that only happen in that time off, when it has time to digest everything that you're trying to teach to it. Because it is very good to see your muscle memory and your brain as something that you need to teach, as if it is a student, especially muscle memory. You just have to keep doing the same movements over and over and over again, really slowly, and eventually it will get the hang of it. And important thing is you don't want to be making any mistakes. You want to be keeping it slow enough so that everything you do is perfect technique wise, and that's even going to changing chords and just doing what would be classed as very basic things. You want to do them really slowly so that you're not making mistakes. If you never make mistakes, your muscle memory never stores bad information. It's always storing effective, motor skills and fine movements. You want it to always be storing correct stuff. That's another thing that I know I'm talking about teaching here, but that's another thing that I used to see a lot, was somebody trying to play a run and they would mess it up. And then they try and do it again, they'd mess it up again because they're trying to play it too fast. And every time they mess it up, the muscle memory is storing that. So the next time they try and do it, they'll mess up at the same point, because guess what? The muscle memory stored that. That's what it does. It stores movements. So if you just slowed it down by 5 or 10 beats per minute, and got that bit right, you're now overwriting the bad muscle memory. So next time you get to that point, you will play it correctly. So that's it. You got to treat your muscle memory as if you're teaching a kid how to do something. Just keep it really simple and slow it down, and muscle memory will repeat whatever movement you're giving to it over and over again. Even if it's a mistake, it will keep on doing that mistake. And how many times have you had that? And I've seen that with people that I teach, where they keep saying, I was playing live on Saturday or whenever it was, and they said, there's this one bit in this song that I keep getting wrong and I can't figure out why I keep messing it up. And it's because it's the muscle memory, it's subconscious. It's going to keep loading up that particular mistake. So slow it down and reteach that muscle memory what you want it to do. And if you do it slowly, then gradually speed it up, and then you will overwrite that bit of incorrect muscle memory, and then you'll be fine playing live or doing whatever you want to do. So anyway, Rose says, great tips. I've seen it. So this is it. Yeah, when you've been doing it a while, and especially learning to play guitar, I think everyone can relate to it. But people not really understanding the muscle memory and the brain part of it, and they might get to a point where they think, I can't play guitar because I keep on messing up this bit, but they don't realize that it's stored. So all you've got to do is overwrite that. It's literally like a computer. Just overwrite that muscle memory with the correct bit. And the only way of doing that is slowing down and just making sure that you're teaching your muscle memory the right thing every time. So anyway, I will be getting into the other donations that have happened. Karen donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is not on chat because of migraine, but shout out to Billy. Yesterday, I learned a cult is 10 minutes from my daughter's home and got scared. Billy offered her wisdom and chatted with a scared mum. She's awesome. So thank you for that, Karen. And there have been some donations over on PayPal as well. So thank you guys for these. Now, I don't want to miss any of these out, because I think right at the end of the last live stream, we had a donation from Orlando who donated £5. So thank you for that. And the message was 681 likes on this 11/19 or 19/11, what we say here. Basically, 19th of November. Live stream is outstanding. Great job, wingers. So thank you for that, Orlando. And by the way, if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. We're aiming for 610 likes tonight, which would be a new record for the channel. And yeah, Saturday night live stream, we will see how we get on with it, because we have hit the records quite consistently. At some point, it has to end. But we will see if that is going to be tonight or not. So, yeah, if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be great. So, the Mighty V says, could I please have that lovely white Stratocaster as a Christmas present this year? So thank you for that. And no, because it's mine. So, yeah, that's the Performer Series Strat in the background. So, will we... Oh, I can see in the reflection, or at least in the picture that I'm looking at, that it's not plugged in. The gem is plugged in, so we will be using that for whatever it is later on that we bust out the guitar for and have a jam. But thank you for that, Orlando. And yeah, that was right at the end of the last live stream, so we didn't quite catch that. So that's why I'm addressing it now. And we had another donation. This is from Amy, so thank you for this, Amy. And this is for £25. So thank you for that. It is a straight up donation without a message. And we've had another donation from Kai for £20. So thank you for that. And that is a straight up donation as well. And Ian has donated £1 as well. Thank you for that, Ian. And that's a straight up donation again. And Sue has donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Sue. And this one has a message. It says, "Hi Phil, greetings from London. We'll have to miss the stream tonight because I'm actually here in London for an event with my podcast. Wishing you and my fellow wingers a great live stream." So thank you for that, Sue. And at least, well, Sue will have a very good connection for tonight's live stream. So thank you for that. And Elrod has donated £20. So thank you for that. And yeah, that's probably Rod. Thank you for that. And that is a straight up donation as well. And Nicole has donated £20. Thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, "Hello Phil, this morning there is a little snow outside my window. Maybe it's a same in England. Congrats again for your channel. Your great good health, Phil. Kiss for you and rock for all." So thank you for that. And yeah, just a little bit of snow, but yeah, not really anything. Just probably you wouldn't notice it here unless you just, you know, looked outside it in the right window of maybe 10 minutes. But I know that in other places in the UK, I think there's been a lot more snow. So yeah, because I'm obviously in the south, it's a lot colder up north of the country. So yeah, I think they had a lot of snowfall up there. But maybe it will happen soon. I do not know. Certainly it's stormy outside, so who knows. Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. And that is a straight up donation. And there's another one here that has come through from Visa. That's VESA, who has donated £5. So thank you for that. I'm not sure whether I've said that correctly or not, but yeah, thanks for that donation. And it is a straight up donation as well. And Debbie's donated £10. Thank you for that, Debbie. And the message is, "Hi Phil, congrats on 441,000 subscribers. Do you think the Taylor Swift tour has set a precedent that other performers will feel obligated to follow suit? You are the best. Love you, Debbie." So thank you for that. And I mean, this is a question of artistry and what the artist wants to do, because I'm sure, like when I said in last night's video about Pink, I've never, I've never seen her lip sync or use auto-tune or anything like that live. She's always just done what she does. And that's her as an artist, that even though she's going to be doing something that's massively physical and physically demanding on stage, she's still not going to not provide her vocal. So it's just, I don't think that Pink would feel obligated to do that, because she wouldn't want to do that. So, and again, it's down to the artist's beliefs and the artist's, view of their fans and all this kind of stuff, whether they just want to give the fans a live vocal or whether they're not as bothered about the live vocal side of it. So yeah, everybody's different. I don't think it would set a precedent. I don't think because one person's doing, then everybody else thinks, oh, well, I should probably do it as well. I think what it might, there's going to be a divide. I think it's either going to make artists think, oh, this particular artist has performed with a backing track and is either lip syncing and or auto-tuning their vocals, and it's been seen as a negative thing, therefore I won't do it myself. And this is actually a lot of the complaints that come in about artists that do such things. A lot of people say, oh, well, it doesn't matter, and then they go on to effectively show that it does matter, because they're so defensive about trying to say, oh, well, the reason that they had to do it was because of this and this and this and this, so it shouldn't matter anyway, and who cares, and all this kind of stuff. And they've written like about 5 paragraphs of them caring. So I think it is seen as a negative thing when a singer isn't singing and people have paid to see that singer. Because when you think about it, when you pay to see a singer, you do expect singing. But then it's, well, what do you class as singing? Do you class auto-tune as singing? Personally, I don't. But again, that's an artistic thing. I think that singing is when you can hear the voice of the person who is singing, and it isn't a computer processor that is giving you the sound, because unfortunately that's what it is. You make a sound and the computer processor then decides what it's going to sound like. So I don't class that as singing myself, but some people might do. And the lip syncing thing, again, that's something that I think is seen in a negative light, and that's why people do get defensive about it if they're a particular artist that they're a big fan of. When it has been revealed to the general public that is going on, that's why the kind of defense mechanism comes out, because they do think that it's a negative thing. But so it'll either be on that side that people think, right, well, it's a negative thing or is seen as that, so I won't do it. Or they might think, maybe I can do less work for the same money. And they might just go on the other side and think, well, why am I singing live? If there are other people who are just lip syncing and using auto-tune, why am I trying to get my voice really accurate at hitting pitch when I can use a computer processor to do that for me? So then you've got that side of things that, if you want to be cynical about it, you absolutely can earn the same money or even more for doing less work and less training. Because like I said, if you want to sing and dance at the same time, you've got to put in months, if not years, of training to achieve that goal. But if you think, well, I want to be able to do that without the training and earn the same money, if not more, so why don't I just do that? Again, that's an artistic choice that people can choose to do that, or they can choose not to do that, and it's up to them what they want to do. And whether people think that's a good thing or a bad thing is up to them. But those are the two options, really, and that's how it works. And it's always been the case that if you want to do something like that live, dancing and singing, it takes training. And if you don't want to do the training, then the only option is to find a way around it. And it just, I think, is seen in a negative light when people then find out that actually it's not what they think it was, and that it's actually been compromised, the show that they thought they were seeing, in order to be able to do these two things, because the particular artist or band, whoever it may be, haven't done the training. So everyone that might be watching thinking, oh wow, this is amazing, this is just like Tina Turner, or this is just like Pink, but they're watching it not knowing that obviously things aren't quite as they seem, and it might be a lip-synced vocal. And then they'll think, how come they're absolutely nailing the lines on A440 standard pitch throughout this whole gig, and they're dancing and doing lots of movement? There's a reason for that. So anyway, but as you guys know on the channel, this is the other thing that we won't have a troll corner tonight, but just reminded me of something that somebody said recently, saying that the live performance and everything, you're missing the point that the person that you're talking about is a songwriter, they're a performer, they're a singer, they're an instrumentalist, they're this and they're that and they're that, and then went on to list loads of things about the recording contract and having to re-record songs because the artist didn't have the rights to them and had to re-release them and all this kind of stuff. And I just had to reply actually quite briefly saying, all of that information is irrelevant to my analysis video, because I'm just pointing out what is going on with this performance that we are watching. the life story and history of any artist that I analyse in a performance is irrelevant to the objective data that we're looking at. So again, and this is the whole subjective point of view, that I know that people that are fans of the artist will want to try and justify what they see as something that is potentially negative being pointed out, and they'll want to justify that. But all of that justification about their life story is still irrelevant to the objective data. It doesn't change the fact that that is what is going on. That, my analysis video is purely that. It's looking at objective data, and an analysis is is what it is. It's going to be an in-depth look at the subject material, whatever it might be. And that's what I do. And that's why we have the pitch graph on screen, because it is in depth. I will look into it. And, an in-depth analysis of a live performance is not, like a biography. I'm not going to start getting into all of that when I'm looking at a performance, especially when I've been asked a very specific question, because that's often what happens. People say, what is happening in this performance? Is this happening? Is that happening? How does that happen? How is this achievable? All these different things come with the request. So generally with the request, I am answering that question. And that's just the way it is. Anyway, yes, thank you for the donations, Debbie, as well, for that donation. And there's been another one from Lisa, who's donated £5. Thank you for that, Lisa, in the messages. And this is Lisa W. Says, hi Phil, I'm still laughing over the last live stream. That was on Tuesday, so Lisa's been laughing since last Tuesday, and I have listened to your phenomenon comment and singing, or little singing jag, at least 30 times. Thank you for making my day. You are pure sunshine with your abundant showmanship. So thank you for that, Lisa. And this is all kicking off last week with all of the reaction things. Karen's donated £6.76. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, congrats on hitting 441,000 subscribers. I loved your analysis video about singers having the ability to sing and dance effectively. You've spoken about being a personal trainer. Do you like dancing as part of training and or recreationally? Why or why not? I took Irish step dancing lessons for several years, very cardiovascular. Anyway, thanks for all you do and for being you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And quick answer to this, I've never really got into dancing or done dancing as training, but I can appreciate the intensity of dancing because I know it takes a lot of training. I don't know whether I would ever learn to properly dance. I think it's something that because I've done sporty stuff in my past and been a personal trainer, I'd like to think that maybe I've got some level of coordination in order to be able to do it. But I don't know. Maybe at some point in the future. I don't know whether they have these shows where celebrities go on and they try and learn to dance. Now, if I were a celebrity, I don't know whether I'd go on a show like that. Well, it means I'd have to stop doing the live streams and all my videos on YouTube, so it would take too much time. But it would be interesting to try to see if I could dance or not. But I've never really tried with training or recreationally. So thank you for that, Karen. And we are up to date over on PayPal. So thank you guys for all of the donations over there. As I always say, you don't have to donate, but they are very much appreciated. And Karen has donated $10 again. So thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, greetings from Sacramento, California. Phil, just wondering if you might be able to watch the Get Back series once your secret project is underway. So thank you for that. And I don't know, this side project, this secret project, it's taking more and more and more of my time. But it's for good reason, because I've got to organise a lot of things before what I'm doing can kind of get out there. So, I've got a meeting on Monday to do with that particular side project. So, Monday's my admin day anyway, so that kind of works out quite well. But having said that, I say it works out well. It means that obviously the stuff that I should be doing on Monday, while I'm having this meeting, I have to do it another time. But yeah, it's taking a lot of organizing, and yeah, as you guys know, over on Patreon, I'll let you know first of all when it can all get released and put out there. But it's just something that I have to be really careful with, and just cover all bases with it, and make sure that when I do actually launch everything, that it's absolutely watertight, and everything is going to go as I want it to go, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I will let you know. But this is the thing, and I think when I do eventually get it out there, I think you'll probably understand why it's taking so long, and all the potential implications of it. And yeah, I mean, on Monday I'm going to be chatting with Scott, the lawyer that you might know from the channel, just to pick his brain about a few things to do with this particular side project, and see what he says about it, just to get a little bit of a guide as to what I should be thinking, and what is going to be possible, what's not going to be possible, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll be doing that on Monday, and I'll let you guys know on Monday with the Patreon update as to how that all went. But I mean, it depends with that meeting and what Scott says as to probably how long or how short the time will be until I can kind of let everybody know what's going on. But yeah, I just have to be very careful with it, and we will see. But anyway, yeah, it's taking up more of my time, so it's not taking up less of my time. So yeah, we will see what happens. But I think that once I do get it out there and launch everything, it's going to go pretty much hand in hand with what I do on the channel anyway. So you guys will be able to see that one thing will be helping the other thing. So yeah, definitely the two things will intermingle. And yeah, I might be able to be doing videos on my channel that incorporate the side project that I'm working on at the moment. So anyway, yes, thank you for that, Karen. And the Mighty V says, serious question this time. Why do so many guitarists solo in minor scales over major chords? So thank you for that. I mean, generally, if they are playing it minor scales over major chords, it's not going to sound very good if it is truly just purely like a major chord progression. But with the blues, yeah, that's what the blues is all about, that you've got a major chord progression and you're playing a little bit of those, like blues scale and a little bit of minor pentatonic, all that kind of stuff. But there's always that nod towards the major key. So if you're playing a blues, because that's what the blues is, mixing major and minor scales, then it's going to sound okay. But if you're playing over a backing track, for example, that isn't blues based and is literally just major chords all the time, and you try to throw in blues scale and yeah, major scales, or yeah, minor scales over major chords, yeah, or a major progression, that's not going to sound particularly good. So yeah, there always has to be that little hint towards the minor key that you'll get, with the typical kind of Chuck Berry line where you've got that hammer on that you have too in the major third rather than the minor third. So yeah, that's kind of the classic Chuck Berry sound. So yeah, with blues you can get away with it, but I'd say pretty much anything else you're going to kind of struggle with to kind of sell that, especially if you're just sticking to major chords. So anyway, what I might do is do a very quick example of what I mean. And it's good to check actually if this is working, because this is the second live stream just with the new audio setup. So here we go. Oh, I can check my tuning as well. It's not too bad. So we've got an A here. And if I go, it makes sense because I'm hammering on there. So the major third and kind of the minor third will be there. That would be the major, and that would be the minor. So I'm just, that's kind of the scales of going minor scale, major scale. Anyway, let's not get into all of that. So yeah, when you're playing through the minor, you know, the minor chord, if I now go, it's not quite going to sound, you know, as good, but yeah, here, I mean, you can pretty much, if I go, you know, playing what would be for the minor scale here, it's not quite going to go. If I go, yeah, those just sound like wrong notes, you know. You've got to go to that major third to make sense of it. Because now, if I go, you know, we go a little bit Pharyngean with our sound because we're having to adapt the notes that we're playing to make it relevant. So, yeah, this is it, that playing those notes. And the things with the minor, like that. You know. Obviously, you know, that's going to work quite well. Now, alternatively, you could have your minor here, and you go, and I was playing major pentatonic there. So it means that, you know, because you got the minor chord in there, minor third, that's kind of never going to work the other way. But yeah, there is, I mean, yeah, to a certain extent, you can get away with, if I'm playing the A here, but even there, as soon as you kind of get, you've got to make sure that you're trying to throw in that major. So what I was saying is that if you've just got a chord progression that is all major bass, say for example, we've got our A, and this is now, all of those notes now from the major pentatonic major scale, they all work, and they, you know, even though, you know, it's the major chord that I'm playing, an A, going like that, you know, all of this, playing all of those major scale notes, and, you know, throwing in a fill like that, that's all going to sound good. And if you are throwing in kind of minor notes, you have to be really careful with it, unless, like I said, that, you know, if you're playing something that is blues bass, everyone's kind of, yeah. You know, then you mix kind of a little bit of kind of that major with the and the minor sound. But as with all of that stuff, that's all minor pentatonic, major scale. I mean, and pretty much, you know, you'll find that these notes overlap as well. So this is why, you know, when you're playing the blues, you're overlapping both of those shapes. So anyway, that's enough of that. Otherwise, yeah, we're going to be here all night, and we have a cover video to get into. So I will attempt to try and reach up there and hang that up. So there we go. That's it. Long answer to that question. So we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video, which is looking like it's going to be I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. And Diamond Girl donated $2 and says cool, with some rock horns. So yeah, thank you for that. And right, we will jump into this, and it was 51% of the vote. I don't want to miss a thing. So only just one. So obviously it's my version of the Aerosmith classic. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you after. Rock.
I could stay awake just to hear watch you smile while you are sleeping, while you're far away dreaming. I could spend my life in this sweet surrender. I could stay lost in this moment forever, 'cause every moment spent with you is a moment I treasure. I don't wanna close my eyes, I don't wanna fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do, I still miss you, babe, and I don't wanna miss a thing. Lying close to you, feeling your heart beating, and I wonder what you're dreaming. I wonder if it's me you're seeing, and I kiss your eyes. Thank God we're together. I just want to stay with you in this moment forever, forever and ever. I don't want to close my eyes, I don't want to fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do, I still miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to miss one smile, I don't want to miss one kiss. I just want to be with you, right here with you, just like this. I just want to hold you close, feel your body close to mine, and we'll stay in this moment for all the rest of time. Yeah, yeah. Don't want to close my eyes, I don't want to fall asleep, 'cause I miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do, I still miss you, babe, and I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to miss a thing.
And there we have it. For some reason on that video, well, not only did it have a fade in and a fade out, which is something that I must have done ages ago, because it's that kind of song. I thought, oh, this would be quite good. But the only problem is that it then takes ages to come back to me here, in the studio. But yeah, on my software, I don't know why, but it was all out of sync, so that I was singing. I think I might have been behind what was being heard, but then some people said that it sounded, or it was working fine. So I don't know what that was all about. So if it was out of sync, apologies for that, but maybe it was fine elsewhere and it's only me that was seeing that weird stuff going on. First time that's happened. But anyway, right, what we have to do is try to find 23 more people in the world somewhere who can get involved in the live stream and hit the thumbs up. Because we are, 588 likes at the moment. We're trying to get a new record of 610. So we're going to have to round up as many people as we can, and, I don't know, shout out of the window, tell them to log on to YouTube and hit the thumbs up. Right, we're down to 18. So if we do hit the target, we'll bust out the guitar, have a fill jam, and not only that, it will be a new record for the channel. So yeah, we will see. And there were some people who were saving their thumbs up, because now 8 people are required to hit the thumbs up, and we are getting close. We are almost there. While we look at the likeometer, I'm just going to see how long the jam is, just in case we have made it. So thank you guys for that sudden spike of the likes. getting us up to 610. That was like, how many people? 27 people or something, just instantly. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. Let me just skip that advert. Right. Yes, over on PayPal, there's been another donation there. But this track is 6 minutes and 18 seconds. And we've just gone past midnight here. So we will have time to do that, which is good. There's been another donation. And let me just have a look at this. And Vera has donated £7.61. So thank you for that. And there's a message with this. It says, "Hi Phil, I just have to say that your cover of I Don't Want to Miss a Thing is better than the original by Steven Tyler. I just love your version. Hugs, Vera." So thank you for that. And I don't think it's ever possible to be kind of better than an original, because without the original, you wouldn't have the thing to be singing anyway. So, but thank you for the kind words. And right, we are. Elaine says, "Must have Phil Jam." We do have a picture corner. I mean, a very brief one for tonight. I think just one picture that we're going to be taking a look at. And this is something that I haven't set up before going live, so I don't know where this is going to appear on screen. We will see, but let's jump into picture corner and we'll see what's going on, if we can actually even see. Oh, it's pretty close. So, I mean, I have been told, and it's been told to me over on Facebook by Laura, that there were lots of people doing lots of different pictures of, I'll just move this over to the middle, lots of different pictures from the last live stream. And this is one that Karen has put together that's just showing some of the things that were going on that I didn't know what was going on in the last live stream with these reactions. And I'm trying to read this because it's too small on my screen, but it says at the top, "Phil's eye catchers," and it's something like maybe "fabulous fireworks" or something like that, and then "raving rock horns" or something like that, and then "have a heart," and then "peace man." That's what I'm going with. But yeah, it's so small on my screen. I'm about 5 inches from the screen trying to read it because it's really small. But anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Karen, and for making that particular what do you call it, a collage of reactions from the last live stream. So let's get rid of that and back to on screen. I'm just wondering if we might have time. I know that people have been asking for a Phil tune, and we probably have time for one. So I'll quickly have a look over on Patreon to see if anyone has been requested specifically. Barbara has asked for the library one, and I might just pick that one because it's the first one that I saw. So we are going to be having a look at a Phil tune, and this is a real story from my life, just in case you don't know what this is all about. Just a cartoon that I've made. Yeah, and every cartoon that I have made is absolutely 100% true and real, even though it's totally unbelievable. So this is called My Real Life Story of the Library. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you guys in a second. Rock!
Guys, I'm so excited. I have just managed to get us an awesome gig.
Well, I do hope our definition of awesome coincide.
Well, I know a guy who works at a pub and he said we can play there this Friday night.
You know a guy. So far, to be honest, I'm on the fence about this gig. Persuade me. Where is the venue? Will I have heard of it?
The pub is called the Golden Guff. It is in Surrey. My friend has told me it will be amazing. We need this gig.
Well, it certainly sounds like a reputable joint. It's about an hour's drive, but I'm going to trust you on this. Let's book the gig.
We won't regret it. The place will be packed. I can't wait.
Wowzers, this pub really looks like a library. Hello there. Do you work here?
Yes, I do.
Yes, we do need help. Thanks for asking. We are the band who are playing here this evening. What is the plan?
Are you sure there's live music tonight?
Well, I ruddy hope so. If not, my bandmate has yet again stitched me up, as well as himself. So, who is in charge?
I am the only person working here tonight.
Well, at least we know, therefore it will not be busy tonight. Great. Where is the stage, and we'll start to set up?
Well, whenever someone has played an acoustic guitar, they have been sitting here, so you can play in this area.
Oh my guff heck of frig. You may actually notice there are tables and sofas in the way, not to mention just being a woeful position for music.
I'm afraid you'll have to move the table and sofas out of the way then.
Well, as I'm a musician and I want to play, I will do this manual labor in addition to the hour's drive. I also assume we are not getting paid for this gig.
That is correct.
At least you're holding up your end of the bargain. Well, let's get to work, guys. These sofas look like the heaviest sofas we will ever lift in our lives.
I'll leave you to it, and I'll make sure that if you need anything, I will be impossible to find.
Many thanks for following standard protocol. Great job, guys. It only took an hour and I think I've got a hernia. But I'm sure it will all be totally worth it and not a gig we should have declined. Just the person I was looking for. So, where is the PA? Is it quite heavy to lift? And also, how many channels does your mixer have?
We don't have a PA here.
Ha 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 ha. That was a fantastically great joke. Wasn't it? Or should I say, it better have been.
No, what you see is what we have.
That, I'm afraid, is sweet guffaw. Well, what do you usually do on live music nights then?
Jacob usually does all the band stuff. He's not here today, but I have his number if you want to talk to him.
That might be an idea. At least every last detail of this gig has been meticulously planned by the venue, otherwise we could all look like absolute total amateurs. Hello Jacob, I'm Phil from the band that are playing at your pub tonight. Where is the PA? And the mixer? For the gig? Okay, so it's in your car. And you are in your car at the moment. And you're 5 hours drive away. Do you think this may be an issue? Considering we're playing in 45 minutes, you didn't realize what the time was? Oh well, that is a very acceptable excuse. I mean, how could anyone ever have foreseen these unlikely turn of events? Unbelievable. So here is the situation. The PA is 5 hours away. We have 45 minutes until we start. So this venue has quite truly rogered our collective bums in the guff.
Oh dear. I can't help feeling partially responsible for us being in this position.
Yes, I wonder why that is.
Just so you know, your friends and family are also just starting to arrive. They must have made the hour-long drive to support you.
Oh. Great. Well, as ridiculous as this sounds, I have purchased my own PA, so that if a music venue is retarded enough to not have any equipment, I have everything. It just so happens it's in my sister's boyfriend's van, who should be here shortly. So, it seems that you as a collective venue won't have egg on your face. You jammy dodgers.
I don't understand.
Oh, just that to the innocent onlooker, you'll look like you have a great PA system and are a great live music venue, when in fact you are actually a total load of rubbish guff venue. With no idea, and couldn't organize a piss-up in a brewery. Present location accepted. No offense.
None taken.
You are seriously mentally vacant. I'm going to slag off this pub to my family now. Bye.
And there we have it. That was a real life story that actually happened. So a lot of people have been saying in the live chat room where the character's legs are and arms and all that kind of stuff. So the character who looks like me with the red headband, even though I don't wear a red headband, but that just came with the hair, because when you make the characters, you have to choose particular things, or at least you did have to. This was years ago, and this particular cartoon thing isn't in existence anymore, which is a shame. But yeah, you can make your custom characters, and I had to have a headband on, but then the leather jacket and everything else I could make myself. And the other characters, I think certainly the bassist was just a default character, so I didn't really design anything on that person. Maybe the ones that you could design might not have arms and legs, and the default characters did have legs and stuff, but it's just a silly cartoon. So even though this situation is real, obviously I do have arms and legs and not floating hands. So there you go. So anyway, quickly, there's a donation in the super chat window from Karen first, who donated $5. Thank you for that. The message was, Phil, I appreciate you. You're showing my picture collage in Picture Corner. It's been a rough week and you brought a smile to my face. Thanks so much, Karen. So no problem. But thank you for that, Karen. Bastian's donated 10 CHF, which is... I'm trying to think of what that is currency-wise. But thank you for that, Bastian. And that's their first donation in the Super Chat window. The message is, it's a pleasure to see your analysis of music in general. Thanks you to make us love the music. So thank you for that. And just quickly over on PayPal, I'll jump into this while I grab my guitar. Sue donated £5.33. Thank you for that, Sue. The message is, your blues Chuck Berry riff reminded us of a James Bond theme. Can you play Vic Flick's guitar riff? Rest in peace. So thank you for that. And I don't know if it is so well known that it would get a copyright strike. I know that when I did the James Bond movie thing, the copyright was a real problem because of the riff. And I guess playing the riff just sounds like the riff. So yeah, I might not be able to play it. So anyway, I suppose what we could do is kind of mess around with it a little bit in order to, and this is the thing, that it'll probably get flagged as a cover or something. But if I go something like, I'm trying to think what I can change. So maybe I could just play that first part of, I don't know what I can. So there we go. But anyway, we've got to get into the Phil Jam because I'm just being a bit silly here. And it's 14 minutes past midnight, so we're about to run out of time. Right, let me click on this and... Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Maybe I can't hear that. So there's an advert. I'm going to let it play through that I can't hear, which isn't a good start. So I'm going to skip the advert and hopefully I'll be able to hear when the track comes in. This is Intense 80s rock ballad backing track D minor, and this is from YT Jam Tracks. That's the channel on YouTube, and the YT is just capital letters. Oh, here we go. You wouldn't have been able to hear what I just played because I didn't have the mic on, but I went... There we go. So that was that. Okay, right. I'm going to have to see if I can hear this because... And let me know if you guys can hear this as well. Okay. Try and zoom out as well. I can hear my own voice, which is quite off-putting. Okay, hang on. Okay, levels are alright. Yeah, okay, right. Well, I've had to kind of change things, but might be okay. I'm gonna change. Yes! I was waiting for that to happen about 16 bars ago. Anyway. Oh, it's just my drums here. was fading out. I wanted to check how long was left, and I saw there wasn't very long left. So I thought there was going to be some kind of ending. I didn't think that would happen. So there we go. That was that. Maybe got away with it with the fading out. I could kind of judge it a little bit better. But that was intense 80s rock ballad backing track D minor, and that's YT Jam Tracks, capital Y, capital T, on YouTube. So there we go. And I think that actually went quite quickly for a over 6 minute backing track. So yes, thank you, Joe, for sending that my way, and you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring that we had a Phil Jam for tonight. So I'm going to be here. Oh, we've had another donation in the super chat window from Better Ideas, who's donated $10. So thank you for that. And that's their first super chat donation, and it says #1 fan. So thank you for the donation and for being a #1 fan as well. And that's the pair person doing a celebration with #1 written on their tummy. So, right, we are going to be here with another video tomorrow night. And tomorrow night's video, you'll probably want to look out for, because, yeah, I'm doing a video looking at a video that I've done before, just because some people said, oh, well, the situation might have been different from when you analysed and all that kind of stuff. And I jumped into a rabbit hole of performances by this particular artist going all the way back to 2005, and you won't believe what I found. So look out for that video tomorrow night. I'm going to be here again with a live stream on Tuesday night, so look out for that, 11 PM Greenwich Mean Time. So if you can join me then, that would be great. So all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!